I'm Fran and welcome to Delicious Sparkly Cakes. If you've been following me for a while, you noticed that I haven't been made videos for a few weeks at the moment because normally in summer I work as a receptionist in a hotel and it's been really hectic. Plus, in summer it's not really easy to make creations with fondant as they will melt and it's really hard for me to make anything. However, I was really missing all the stuff of being creative and the manual job and making cake toppers and being connected with people all around the world, that when I saw the puppet trend, I really thought, come on, I have got to do it. Plus it was really nice and quiet now. But while I was making the puppets, I've actually come up with different ideas, different ways to make them. So you will see in the video how to make them, but in different ways. You can use which one is actually best for you. For my puppet cake, I've decided to use these 3 templates. I love the heart, I love the unicorn, and I know many people who loves Among Us. It's really popular. Often many of you ask me what fondant I'm using, and this is the one. It's a modeling paste from Saracino and I've been using it for years and I really love it. Also, I'm not paid for it, unfortunately. So let's roll it and then we're going to cut our 3 shapes. These are the shapes that I've actually printed myself and that I found on the internet. So I'm sure you're going to find the ones that you want, because obviously you can choose which one you want and not use the same that I've used as well. Once we cut it, what we need to do is to round all the edges because often they comes really horrible and rough, and then we're going to add 2 cocktail sticks on the Among Us shape, 1 for each leg. And the same thing I've done for the heart shape, but this time I've added just 1 cocktail stick in the middle. And for the unicorn shape instead, I'm not going to add any cocktail stick because I want to put it at the front of the cake. In the meantime, I colored 6 balls of modeling paste which have the same color as my puppet. And now let's start rolling the red fondant, which it needs to be a little bit thick. This is going to be much easier when we're going to make our spheres. Then we're going to put some cling film at the top of it, and with a small round cutter we're going to make lots of spheres. So this is the first one, and as you can see it is nice and it's perfect for what we're going to do next. And in the meantime, I've thought to put them on top of my puppet so that I know how many circles I'm going to need, just to have a rough idea and that I'm not going to make too many or not enough of them. And then I kept going, making some orange circles. Then again, I've put them on top of my puppet. And now I'm going to show you how to make one which is half and half, and this one is going to go on the unicorn. So I'm making 2 circles and then I'm cutting them, and then I'm going to push them so that they're going to look just as one, and it's going to go just over there. Once we've done all the circles, we're going to add all the colored strips on each of the puppet, and we're going to do that using again our templates. And what I'm trying to do is to make each strip as the same size as possible as the template. However, sometimes the fondant just tend to stretch a little bit, so you might need to cut it again if it doesn't fit exactly as you want to be. Because the white fondant is already really hard, sometimes I use it as well as template itself. And to stick each template on the puppet, I'm using some water. And finally, let's add a little bit of gap between each colored strip. Just want to remind you that I'm not going to do exactly as in the real puppet, but just want to make it a little bit easier for you to make. Plus, I've noticed that they look a little bit more nicer as well and elegant. Now, to add the round shapes onto our puppets, I've tried in few different ways. One is drawing the circles again and then adding the round shapes on top of them. But then I wasn't really happy about it, so what I did was to actually cut out the round shapes and then adding the spheres inside of them. And also, as you can see, I've drawn the Among Us lines as well, so that they looked more similar to the original ones. And at the end, I've added some butter to make the puppet a little bit more shining. However, it's not going to last, but I really like this way a little bit more. To make the other two puppets, then I've started to make things in a quicker way. So I've made the strips with a red on both of them and then all the other colors. Doing like this, it helped me to make things in really an easier and quicker way. So then I cutted all the extra fondant all around it. But this time I tried in a different way to add these circles onto the puppet. So first of all, I wanted to make this little string all around it, cutting it with a bigger cutter and the one that I was using, but still I didn't like them much because there was a really big gap on them and the strip was too thick. So then finally I cut another round shape and then I made it a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit using the bull tool. And then in the middle I've added a circle, which as you can tell, it is much nicer, and the strip all around it, it is thinner and it looks a lot elegant. And for the puppet that has the two colors, I cut two round shapes, then cut them, put them together, thin them and added the one on top of it. And finally, to speed things up, I've cut lots of circles, then made them a little bit bigger using the ball tool and added all the circles on top of it. And finally again, I've added a little bit of butter to make them shining, and I think they look really nice. And actually I think this is the design that I really like the most and how I make them as well. This is the one that I prefer. So see, this is the puppet that I've used, and I actually use the same colors, which are quite nice. I thought they're really nice. Now I'm going to show you the difference puppet that I've made. So this is the one, don't know if you can see, yeah. This is the one where I've actually cutted some circle from on the inside and inserted the round shapes, and this is the ones without. Just I've added them on top. So which one do you think are the best ones? Let me know. My son preferred these ones. So now we can add the puppets onto the cake, which I already made, and the unicorn is going to go at the front and the heart on the right and Among Us on the left. Then I've thought to use the Smarties, as they are of this kind of the same color, plus the shape is just perfect for our puppet, and I put them all around the cake. And then I've added some decorations at the right and on the left as well, and I put them at the top as well to give a little bit more color and to look a little bit more fun.